So we're here today with another person who's near and dear to me, Yashmin Wall, and wanted to talk about, well, she's been through a significant journey since I've known her. So I wanted to talk a bit about our journey together and, like how you have completely evolved and transformed from when we
You
first met.
you think you've seen it. Sometimes we don't realize how much we have evolved until we have conversations like this and we
I know.
realize how much it has been.
I know, I know. So, all right. So let's start at the beginning. What initially prompted you to seek working with me? That was sort of fun.
So when I started this part of the acceleration of the journey, a dear friend, Joanna, she had been working with you for a while and she totally recommended you. She's like, you need to try. And I remember looking at your website and I'm like, oh, this sounds like it could be. But the moment we talked, like we hit it off right away and everything made sense. Um, and at those moments, I didn't know at the time that I was gonna start going through massive changes. So I feel the fact that I started working with you started shifting things um and to be able to manage and process everything that I was about to go through, you know.
So, do you mind if we just talk about some of the major changes?
Sure.
So, you moved
I moved.
from here to Florida. You left your marriage. You are figuring out like you have been. Well, I mean, there's just so many things that I have seen in you
Everything.
transform. It's hard to like even like list them because it's like everything. So everything in your life today.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying. I mean, it's been a lot of breakthroughs. It's been a lot of aha moments throughout the years because I mean, it's been like 7 years now that we've been
Hmm.
in
I know
this
that's a long time.
process.
I didn't realize it was that long. I was like thinking about it the other day. Yeah.
And it's been trips and it's been sessions and group meditations and not only that with your programs and being kind of keeping up with everything. So it's been one after the other. I mean, yeah, I moved. I changed my marital status. My kids have grown and I'm pretty much an empty nester a lot earlier than I expected, but it's great. Changing, I mean, everything has changed in my life. Everything,
And
everything.
now, yeah, and now you're just starting to really explore like what is the best combination of your potential, which is amazing and awesome to watch.
Yeah, thank you. It's very interesting to go through the process and being able to, one of the things that happen when we do this work is a lot of relationships change and a lot of people that come to your life are more heart, mind like. And I feel blessed that I have people in my life that not only hold space, but I can hold space for them because we're going through similar things and we see the under themes of the collective. And it makes it a bit easier to navigate when you have a support system of people that can really understand what you're going through, you know?
It is because it's a different language too, right?
It is. Literally. Like try to translate it into another language as well.
Yeah.
It's interesting. You have to come up with words to be able to describe things. But
Yeah. But you've gone back to, like what you're exploring now is going back to your root, like passion of dancing, right?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
You are exploring also doing energy work and teaching that. You're exploring even other avenues that you're sort of awakening within yourself.
mm-hmm.
And yeah, you've created this beautiful path of like that's opening up to allow you the space to do that, which yeah, has been
Yeah.
jarring, right? So one of the things that a lot of people, this is off the script.
Okay.
But a lot of people they fear the change they want to make, right? That's because it's a lot. I mean, look at everything. You have changed everything from when we first met, right? So what would you say, in doing this work, like, is it, how do you explain the importance of it and how it makes it easier or better or faster, or like, what would you say is the case with that? Like,
First, having the awareness and taking the responsibility that you're making those changes has been huge to begin with. Having to take responsibility, because it also shows you the things about you that you might not want to see, that you're the common denominator in your life. Um, it it's been a great experience in the sense of having the support, having the knowledge, and being able to trust the guidance that we learned to, and removing all the blockages or the patterns that we have to be able to do things differently, being able to have that awareness and knowledge and remembrance of that we have the power to do this, and that because it's not easy at all on a daily basis. It's like I can literally say at least the last 5 years have been among the most difficult ones in my life. But having the practice, having the support makes it a lot more enjoyable in a way.
flowing. How about flowing?
Flowing, but I also have to say enjoyable, because when you open up to the energetic world and you start experiencing things that are just flat out magical, and that's the enjoyment of it, that you're like, what, this is possible, yay. And it gives a lot more spiritual freedom, which that's what gives you freedom in your reality as well. But yeah, it's been for the most part a positive experience now looking back, but it was challenging. It's been challenging going through it, but yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I agree, because I know we're talking about your journey, but I know it's like, even though I teach it, I walk my talk, I'm like committed to walking my talk, and it's not always comfortable, right? We know that.
No, it's not. It's there's a lot of discomfort, and then I my son has this thing like sick discomfort, and it's like being okay, being uncomfortable.
And you
And
have and you have been an epitome of that. Like, you have become an epitome of that, because you changed everything, right? So
and
you
and in changing, it's not comfortable, and sometimes you have to live in the uncomfortable for a while, and being able to create that comfort within, even though your outside is uncomfortable, then it makes things look better on the outside anyway. And again, I use the word challenge because I believe that we can overcome challenges. We can change the challenges. It's not like a problem or a situation. It's just, things that we overcome. It's just like the challenges have been getting louder and bigger and more intense emotionally, because that's where we all are. We're all changing. So it's like being okay, and being okay accepting the change, because a lot of us are we are taught that this is your personality and this is how you act and this is how you're being. So the resistance that we put in ourselves to not change, it's what causes that the changes get rougher, because it's
yeah.
like, oh no, I don't want to change that about me.
Right. Right.
Because it is a challenge not knowing yourself to refine yourself, and those are part of the changes in life, is for us to find ourselves in different ways too.
Right. Well, and that's the goal, right? Is to know thyself kind of thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So the question on what you feel in your life has been related to working with me is, we already sort of answered that.
The thing is, it goes beyond working directly, because one of the things that I feel you've been very focused on is facilitating.
Mhm.
You're not doing it for me, you're facilitating it, but I have to do the work.
Right.
So I think the key element to that is really committing to the work. And it doesn't have to look similar to anyone else. It's like what you find. That's where you get to choose what's comfortable for you, because you want to create that habit, and that, and everyone does it differently. And sometimes I judge myself for not, oh, I don't get up early, or if I get up too early, or, but at the end of the day, it's like what works for you. Sometimes, like, many people do yoga in the morning. I feel like yoga at night is one of the most relaxing, peaceful things before going to bed, and you sleep like a baby,
Right.
you know? And being able to give myself the freedom to do the inner work, however works in flow, because sometimes the flow says you meditate at 4 o'clock or you pray. And the reality is you want to live a living meditation at the same time.
Mhm. Yes,
And
absolutely.
creating that for ourselves.
Yes.
That the moment you wake up, it's like you're living your dream.
Yeah. Well, and that's my crusade, right? You know that.
But the thing is, like, being able to commit, because that whole thing of waiting for someone else to do it for us is like, obviously it's not the case. And it's really committing to do the work ourselves. And
Right.
then that's when we get that support, because people come into your life, and it's very incredible how everyone means something. And we hold space for each other. We talk about these things, and it makes it bearable. It makes it united, like it unites us. It helps us to be empathic, that not because other people have the same truth or the same way of seeing things, that doesn't mean that it makes them good or bad. Like, even letting go of those concepts.
Yes. Yeah.
It's the things that we've been working on. It's like letting go of all the beliefs and constructs that we have had to create something new based on love, and
Right.
so
Well, and
yeah.
speaking that language together, right? Like, and I think that's really an important thing too, is having a community where we are speaking the same language. And I think that also, like, and my perspective on that is that it keeps everybody more accountable for their own stuff, right? Because you are the magic pill, and that's what I believe. You are the magic pill. Nobody's going to give you the magic pill. So yes. And that's why I like to facilitate, because it's like, yeah, I know how to do all this stuff. And that's why I'm teaching you how to do it, so you can do it for yourself.
Right. And not only that, because there have been moments that, because it transcends, like, what I feel, it started more like you were helping me and mentoring me. There have been moments where we're supporting each other, we're holding space, and like now we're sisters. And it's like, because you have facilitated, now I have the knowledge to facilitate for you.
Yes. Yes.
And hold that space and do it for others. And it makes like a beautiful family. There's no hierarchy, there's no, it's more inequality, because we're all in this together.
It's that whole walking each other home thing. Yeah.
It's like remembering ourselves and reminding each other, because there's been many times that I'm like, I say something or something happens, and you give me a perspective, and I'm like, yep, I gotta take responsibility of this, So yeah, it is.
It is. We're just reflections of each other, which is the beautiful art, and living that is really the goal, right? So,
Right.
So who would you then on that? Who would you recommend to work with me? What kind of person?
Honestly, anyone can benefit. We're all energetic beings. We're all human. We're all going through this. We all are capable. Anyone, everyone, because I've been being able to do this work myself, because I'm looking at it's on my wall. I can do this. I've been able to help other people and be a support. I've been able to plant the seed for people that are starting their journeys, and then they feel more curious about looking into their areas of interest. So it gives freedom too. But I have worked, I mean, even my case study when I was going to become an instructor, I worked with my cats.
Yes.
And it worked.
Yeah, that was really cool. Yeah.
That was my study. I was like, that's my case study. And it worked. So everyone, animals, people, children.
So people who are, well, but who would be seeking it, right? So anybody who's looking to change, right?
Anyone who's looking to change, anyone who's questioning things. There's a lot of people that are very confused about what's going on in the world, where we're heading, feeling out of control, feeling, and you hear her, she's like, yes.
The categories.
Even learning how to connect with our pets, with our animals, knowing their purpose, knowing that we can help them energetically.
Well, and people who want to help themselves.
And that's the key. We keep hearing, oh, we're serve others, but the reality is, like we say, if our cup is not full and it's not overflowing, we can't give. So yeah, the self-work is the most important one, and it's not a selfish thing, because if we're okay, everyone else around us, we can support that for them, and vice versa. So I think everyone can benefit, anyone can benefit, anyone who's willing. You got to be willing to do the work, be willing to be surprised, be willing to embrace the unexpected, and being able to accept all that. But yeah, it's being a journey, that's for sure, but anyone can. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. That was great.